Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. Welcome to the Fourth Angels Learner Center. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. My name is TZADDI, and we are in our alphabet study. We are on the letter TZADDI. TZADDI. So before we get started, I want to let everybody know, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, clicking the notification bell so you could be notified for more content. The best thing you could do to support this ministry is to share the content for those who you feel may need to hear this. So I hope that this is a word of encouragement for everybody listening. Let's go into our letter, the letter TZADDI. The letter TZADDI. So the letter TZADDI is a picture of a trail that has a goal. There's a trail that leads to some place, right? So this is a picture of a place and a trail to a place or path. This is many people are more familiar with this structure here with the paleo, and this is the modern symbol for TZADDI. Now, the definition of TZADDI is it means to hunt, chase. It means a journey or a path, right? So hunt, chase, journey, or path, to pursue. There's when you're hunting and chasing something, is that you're in pursuit for something, right? Just like when you're on a journey, you're going to a destination. So this is what the emphasis is with TZADDI. So this is the modern. Let's take a look at what David says in the book of Psalms, seeing if we can locate the understanding of this letter within Psalms 119. Let's take a look. All right, so here you go. This is how the modern looks, and the modern Hebrew, which many people call box Hebrew. This is Psalms 119, verses 137 to 144. All right, let's take a look. It says, "Righteous are you, O Yahuwah, and upright are your judgments. Your testimonies that you have commanded are righteous and are very faithful. My zeal have consumed me because my enemies have forgotten your words. Your word is very pure, therefore your servant loves it. I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your Torah is the truth. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, yet your commandments are my delight. The righteousness of your testimonies is everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live." So this may sound like many things that David has mentioned, but when we apply the perspective of the letter TZADDI, which is located in the very beginning of these verses, we have to look at these verses as to with a principle of chasing after Yah's word, similar to hunting. You're very precise, you're very strategic in your pursuit for Yah's commandments, for Yah's word. But you're not only pursuing his word, you're also on a journey. You're also pursuing or walking towards a destination. So I want us to keep this in mind when we look at this, right? Now, we just read it. It just seemed like a bunch of words, and we relate to whatever we relate to. That's usually how people would read Psalms 119. But with this letter being in the very beginning, we have to focus on the principle of what can we apply to ourselves that will help us understand how we can go after his word, how we can go after the goal, how we can walk in this journey to end up in the goal. So let's look at this again. Righteous are you, O Yahuwah, and upright are your judgments. Recognition of what his word is. Your testimonies that you have commanded are righteous and are very faithful. This is the goal. This is the goal, to be righteous, to be upright, right? It says here, my zeal have consumed me because my enemies have forgotten your word. There's many instances in which our zeal for following Yah, our zeal for walking on the path may consume us. It may cause anxiety because of the people that we love that's not walking in his word, that's not walking on this path, on this TZADDI. Many people are not walking on this path that we love, and sometimes it feels overwhelming. You know, it says, my zeal consume me. It says, because my enemies have forgotten your word. It says, your word is very pure, therefore your servant loves it. I am small and despised, yet do I not forget your precepts. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your Torah is the truth. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, yet your commandments are my delights. Righteousness of your testimonies is everlasting. Give me understanding, and here's the end goal, and I shall live. All of this reflection of a path, this is what the TZADDI is reflecting. The path that we're on, the end goal of this path is to end up with life, is to live. We are pursuing life. Many times we don't grasp certain things. You know, many people are like, oh yeah, I go to church, this is my culture. Oh yeah, I'm Hebrew, this is my culture. Oh yeah, I'm from this church, this is what we do. There's really no emphasis on, one, the reality of what you have. You have his judgments in your hand. It's called the scriptures. You have his commandments at your beck and disposal. You know, you know that his word is pure and you love it. You have his precepts in your hand, right? Do you love his precepts? Are you chasing after his precepts? People chase after things that they love. There's people who hunt. Remember, the word TZADDI means to chase as well as to hunt. People hunt after things, after their favorite foods. For example, you have Isaac, when he was calling his son Esau to go and search for food for him, his son went and hunted the venison for him. That was his favorite food. So it's interesting, like when you are pursuing your favorite food, you hunt, you're strategizing, you're patient, right? You're going after something. This is the TZADDI. There's an end goal that you need to have, is to have his commandments, is to have his word in our hearts. But most of all, is to have life, according to verse 144. This is the main aspect that we need to focus on a lot of times. Many times we look at his word because we pursue his word because we want to be right. Meaning correct. Not that we want to be righteous. We want to be correct. We want to prove other people wrong. That's what we want. We want to be recognized for being right and other people being wrong. Yah is telling us to understand the goal. The goal is to have his righteousness. You don't pursue it to look a certain way, to be righteous in front of people. You look for it because you recognize that this is the only way to righteousness. That Yah is the only person that can put his word in my mind and allow me to recognize and meditate on his word. That I am unable to do this on my own. The recognition of these things is what's enabling us to pursue or to chase or to hunt after righteousness properly. To give our passions, place it in the right place. This is what TZADDI is trying to help us to focus on. We are on a journey. So while you're on the journey, you need to focus on the destination. Stop being distracted by everything else on the path. Stop being distracted about how this other path looks more, pleasing to the eyes. You need to focus on the path. You need to focus on the end goal of this rough path that leads to life, this narrow path that leads to life. Messiah showed us that there's two paths, two TZADDIs, right? One that leads a journey, one journey that leads to death, and one journey that leads to life. Which direction you want to go? Just to show the focus of studying the commandments is not to do stuff and demonstrate how righteous you are. It's to receive it for yourself. Your focus has to be yourself, your journey, your walk, your chase. What are you chasing? Let's look at what the scripture says about Torah. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 5, and then we're going to go to Deuteronomy 6. Deuteronomy 5 says, verse 32 and 33, it says, you shall guard to do therefore as Yahuwah, your Elohim, has commanded you. You shall not turn aside to the right or to the left. It's showing emphasis, right? It's talking about you guarding his commandments, but it's telling you don't turn to the right or the left. Go straight. This is talking about your path, your journey, the TZADDI. It says, you shall walk. You see that? Walk the journey, walk the path. You shall walk in the ways of Yahuwah, your Elohim, has commanded you. And then it says that you may live, that it may be well with you, that you may prolong your days in the land that you go to possess. This is the end goal, right? The Israelites walking 40 years in the wilderness, the end goal was the promised land, was life. This is the same journey that we're on, that we have to focus on, but you have to recognize how important it is. When you go back to Psalms 119, the stanza that's under TZADDI, he's showing you the emphasis. This is how valuable Yah's word and Yah's commandments are to you. Go after it. Don't go after it like you're just reading it. Go after it and have it put in your mind by Yah. Look at this next aspect of his commandments. Yahuwah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahuwah Eloheinu, our Elohim, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is this day. It shall be our righteousness, if we guard to do all these commandments before Yahuwah, our Elohim, as he commanded us. Our righteousness. Everything that's pertaining to this walk is for us. The end goal, the end result is for us. But we need to stop focusing and getting distracted on other things. We need to stay on the course, stay on the path. There's another letter that we're going to talk about next week. That's an emphasis on a course or circuit as well. We need to stay on that circuit as well. The letter Kuf, we're going to talk about that next week, but we need to stay on this path. TZADDI is an emphasis on what path are you on? What's your goal on this path? You say that you're in this walk. What's your goal? And are you chasing after it? Are you hunting after it? Are you going after it with all of your heart, your mind, and your soul? This is what TZADDI is trying to emphasize on. This is why David is talking about how pure his word is, how perfect his word is, how amazing his word is, because this is his goal. If Yah's word is not more valuable than anything else in your life, you will not walk this path correctly. You will not go on this journey correctly. You will come off the path and go towards whatever else you think is more valuable. So we need to take this perspective, sit down and meditate and reflect. Do I really look at these things the way that I should? And if not, Father, help me. This is what we need to be doing with all of these letters, with all of these stanzas that we're breaking down together. So I hope that this was an encouraging. I hope that this was a light bulb, something that we can apply to our life today. I look forward to studying the next letter with you. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Thank you guys for joining our study today. I hope that it was edifying. And if you want to support this ministry, you can support us on 4alc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube page. Click the like button and the notification bell. I hope to see you guys on the next study. Shalom, guys.